Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our horizontal planners for the next week in August. And I've got these twine markers here ready to go, as well as some label paper that I may use, and these sticker books which I'll pull from. So this is the second week of the August Plannable Challenge, and this week's theme is Feeling Groovy. So if you'd like to participate, go ahead and post your spreads up on Instagram using the hashtag PlannableAugust2022. We'd love to see what you come up with. Okay, you guys, full disclosure on this video, it is quite long for a normal plan with me. I really had a plan going in, but I was just so indecisive this week as I was trying to get this layout set up. I'm not a big fan of the 70s and that whole vibe, so even though I wanted to do and participate in this theme, my inspiration towards this theme was lacking a bit. I pulled a bunch of stickers from the Cool to Be Kind sticker book, which had some hints of 70s vibes, the peace and the peace sign, but the color scheme wasn't quite 70s, which I liked because I'm not, again, a huge fan of that 70s feel. Worked with that to try to bring in something that I thought I would enjoy for the week with this alternate color scheme, but still had feels of that 70s theme idea. So what I decided to do is to pull a bunch of stickers again from that Cool to Be Kind sticker book, and I put them there on a sticker sheet just so I would have, everything that I thought I could use. And then I pulled some twine markers here in colors that matched with those stickers and decided to make some groovy lines on the label paper with those pens. I've just made a couple of them there and cut them out, as you can see. And now I'm going to start placing the stickers that I've sort of pre-collected here onto the spread and see what I can come up with as far as a design. So like I said, this took me extra long to do. It really just came down to me not being in love with the sticker theme as a whole. If I'm really passionate about something, like I really love rainbow colors, so if I really like something, it tends to be a lot easier for me to formulate something that I'm happy with and much quicker. But this week it was a little bit of a struggle and I really didn't have much more to play with as far as stickers from within my sticker books. I did pull another book, the teacher, I think it's like Fresh Start sticker book from maybe last year's back to school, and it has a few of the same colors, mainly like the kind of soft dirty pink. I call it a dirty pink because it's a little bit like got a little bit of black in it, and the mustardy brown yellow tone. So it had those two plus black, but none of that nice pretty teal color that is really the one that's bringing me the joy here from these stickers. So I thought I might be able to use some stickers from that book, but mostly I am pulling from that Cool to Be Kind sticker book, which I do actually like a lot of the stickers in there, even though the color scheme is a little bit different. But yeah, like I said, it was a little bit of a struggle for me to work with on this spread. So I'm just putting that out there. If you do like to see me kind of work through spreads, then you will like this video. If you don't, you might want to skip ahead because it took me way longer than I planned, even with the pre-planning and all that good stuff. So just putting that out there, and you guys can see as much of the process as you choose to. So far I've grabbed out those two wavy lines that I've created, and then trying to place out the rest of these stickers I've pre-pulled. I've cut a couple of box stickers in half, mainly that one with all of the kind of dark faces there, and then the mustardy box I had split in half as well to create two focus boxes with that nice yellow color that kind of matches everything and pulls together that color in different places around the spread. I also had a few florals in my stash from that Cool to Be Kind sticker book and thought that they would match up well with this, again, flower power piece, groovy, just that whole idea, which is what I'm working towards here on this spread. The flowers had stems and leaves. I wasn't really feeling that as much as just maybe having the flower head on its own. I thought that that kind of was a little bit more reminiscent to that 70s vibe, since there's a lot of floral patterns like that back then. So I've already cut down a couple of flowers and I'm trying to incorporate those together in a little sticker cluster somehow, as well as a few box stickers, and just trying different things, seeing if I want to, move things around, seeing what fits. Part of the challenges for this week is because I've been using a 4-page layout for all of July, and I went back to my horizontal, which I love horizontal. I think it's a great format for me. I mean, I've used it for many years and love it, but I kind of got used to having so much space on that 4-page weekly layout that I was using last month. So I really wanted to bring in a lot of decor, but then I was really trying to think about where was I going to put all of the functional stuff on my spread as well, so that everything felt usable and not awkward, but had enough of the decor that was, making me feel like the spread was well designed. So I was just moving things back and forth a lot, and trying to think, well, where could I put a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but still have my checklist room, so a place for all my to-dos. And then I've been adding in my social media spots as well on each day, all of my requirements for Instagram and or YouTube. That kind of stuff, is just taking up room where I used to have a little bit more space for decor. So I start laying things in, but as I get near to where I've used all the stickers and I see how much is on the spread, that I start to pull back and recluster and change things around a lot until I get to a point where I really feel like everything is working. Balance was also a big deal for me on this one. I started out with those 2 kind of wavy stickers I made from the pens, and 2 was just not working. I keep it with 2 for quite a while, but then I realized later that I really need at least 3 to help with the balance of the spread, because the 2 I just didn't feel like gave me enough of the color that I wanted. There's just a little bit of a struggle there for a while until I kind of come to that realization that I need more of those wavy self-made stickers. These strips here are from the Fresh Start sticker book I mentioned earlier, and they have the color scheme that I thought I was going to be able to pull in here with that mustardy and dirty pink tone. But when I see it next to the vibrancy of the wavy lines that I brought in, I start to second guess how I might be able to use them. I have one there on the sheet, or a couple there on the sheet, and I'm not exactly sure how to implement them in any way to make this look good. So I'm going to try reworking the areas that I think I know what I want to do with right now. And like I said, I'm very indecisive on this week. Just have a hodgepodge of stickers and, again, functionality, always thinking about it. So we'll see what comes out of this. I'm liking the clusters of boxes so far. I think that that's really working. I also kind of like the flowers with the wavy lines. I think that's working. I did remember I wanted to bring in those big round circle stickers with more of that gradient tone, since I have a little bit of that in the peace signs and in a couple of the boxes and strips I have. Just trying to work them out. Yeah, just trying to find a place for everything that I pulled and trying to make it, make sense. I don't like when things just feel like they're hanging out there with no real purpose. So that's part of the indecisiveness, is just trying to cluster things but also making them related to each other. It's hard, I see a lot of planner spreads where stickers don't really relate to anything. They're just kind of thrown on the sheet and don't have a purpose. So that's what I'm trying not to have happen. I want to use certain stickers that I have, within this kind of thematic design of, like the 70s feel, but getting them all to be related to each other and also remain functional, that is where the real challenge is. Also too, there's balance on the spread. So I feel like things are getting a little bit better now at this point in the video. I'm starting to really collect things into groupings versus having things kind of spread out. And that, I think, is starting to work and look a lot better. But then it comes down to balance. How is the spread really being balanced out? And this is where I'm like, this too wavy line situation just isn't enough. It's not giving me the balance that I'm seeking. So I'm going to create another 2 stickers, even though the one I'm going to be creating just now is going to be a split of the opposite. So kind of almost like a continuation of the wavy line that you're seeing there on the side. And that way it'll feel like one piece as it goes across the spine at the bottom. And then I'll create another one for the corner at the top. I think that will really help me feel a little bit more comfortable with the balance of the spread and the foundation of what the spread is, and then I can work around it a little bit better. And here, just trying to decide how best to portray those lines, and I think the wider version works a little bit better. I'm just going to go ahead and actually lay them right on the sheet so I can really feel how this is going to go. I'm using wax paper here in case I did not mention that in the beginning. Wax paper is such a lifesaver for somebody like me who is very indecisive at times and likes to move stickers around, try things, see what works and what doesn't, and not commit them directly to the paper. I wish I was like some planner bays where I could just stick a sticker down and call it a day and just be like happy with it, but that has never been me. I'm always looking for precision and just the right feel, just the right balance. So wax paper has been my go-to for building out spreads and making something that I'm really happy with. And already I love having that extra bit of color. It's so dramatically, I feel, enhanced the look and feel of the spread. I feel like that was a missing piece of the real decor aspect of this theme, the whole feeling groovy. I feel like those groovy lines are really helping to sell more of the feels of the 70s. And now I am kind of weeding out a little bit of the stuff that was just outside of the main clusters I had created, and am now trying to kind of work those clusters, see if I can build on them a little bit more and maybe incorporate a few things that I haven't already. Going back into the Cool to Be Kind sticker book now, also I'm going to try to work in these circles elements that I really like, even though the colors aren't exactly the same as the ones that are in those groovy lines. I feel like the gradient color is repeated in a lot of different elements here on the spread, so I want to, add in a little bit more of that if I can. I'm somewhat limited here for placement of the bigger things like that peace quote and these peace signs as well, because again, back to being able to use the spread as through the week is going to be important, and with such big items it takes up a lot of a day's worth of space. So I have that peace quote down at the bottom because that's the this week area, and I have a little more flexibility on what I put in there. I can go a little bit more big with decor in that space, but like to add that to a day would really take up, I feel like, too much room and really take away from the usability of this layout. And the peace signs I really felt like were an integral part of that whole 70s vibe as well. So I'm trying to incorporate the two that I have there in some form or fashion. I have decided to put that one up in the corner and just lay it right on top of the text, so it's still usable. You can still see that it's August and what Monday it is. But I'm just going to lay it right on top of it. I'm not going to worry about whiting out lines behind it or anything. I'm just going to lay it in because, again, I feel like that peace sign is a pretty important part of the vibes of this spread. And since I have two of them, I definitely wanted to use it again here next to the word peace. I would have layered it with the peace sign, but it was just so fine of a drawing that I didn't feel like it could be a background element. I felt like you really would have trouble seeing it if I layered it over that peace quote. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I can fit it in on its own and work with it in that fashion. And finally I'm going to bring in a little bit more of that mustard yellow color from the heart I grabbed out of the Cool to Be Kind, just to help cover up the florals that were a little bit awkward there in that focus box. And okay, you guys, I think I found a layout that I'm happy with. It gives me better balance, but also that functionality. So let's go ahead and move things over. So like I said, I'm not going to bother whiting out behind a lot of these clear stickers. I'm just going to go with it. Yeah, I don't know if I just didn't have the patience, or they're a little bit hard to work with because they're so light. And so if I had whited out, all of the space behind it, it would have been a little bit of work to really get everything be a nice clean background for each of those clear stickers. So part of me was just like, it's not really worth my time. I think it'll work okay without it. But if I want to go the extra mile, I definitely probably would have done that step. It was just going to be a lot of extra work. Going to go ahead and move over these elements bit by bit, trying to get that spacing all lined up, very similar to how I had it there on the spread. and do any extra trim out, you know, of any of the stickers as needed as I go through. I was glad that I had the opportunity to use some of these stickers because, like I said, it's not really my vibe. I probably would not have thought to pull in like these based people in any other type of spread. I mean, just totally not something that I would gravitate towards. But I think they help the groovy feel for this and really kind of work with this theme, which is why I really like these plannable challenges. It helps me get out of my comfort zone a little bit and try things that I wouldn't normally. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, you know, as far as how it turns out, but I still like the fact that I'm trying new things and trying to be creative with different items that I don't normally use. So the last step here will be for me to create my checklist, and I'm just going to use those same twi markers to make that happen here on the spread. I'm going to use all 3 colors that I pulled. I'm also going to go ahead and hole punch out those holes that are covered by the stickers I made already. And once I am done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment too if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!